That's some stiff competition in that field.
That's what I'm saying.
It's pretty stout.
He finished 10th right behind his brother Isaac Sanders. And those two cars, the 12i and the 2, we know that they're fast cars. We've seen them win heat races already. Jordan Broughton was 8th on night number 1. 8th out of 11 cars that finished. That right there is a huge statement and testament to the competition of this division. Okay, ahead of him was Daniel Ray, Doug Kaufman in the 6 car. Got him a heat race win this weekend. The 99C, he finished 6th. Braxton Possinger. Here's a kid that I'm kind of watching in this rank. The 25P. He's got my attention. This kid is fast. He's on that cusp of really putting himself in that elite group in our area in this division of cars. I'm telling you guys, watch that 25P. He's close. He's really close to being in the hunt for the win all the time. Bruce Ray in the 1. Good run. He finished 4th. Jason Nelson in that 51N, beautiful race car, kind of the gray with the fluorescent orange. Good looking car. He was 3rd. 2nd was Justin McCready, who actually had the win on the last visit. Last time the Sport Mods were there. He got the win, or he got 2nd, and picking up his first career win at Willamette. At Willamette was the 30M of Mike Medell. Now the thing about that is, Mike nailed it. And had they not got a caution late in that race, it would have been, I'm going to say, probably close to half a lap on the margin of victory. That 30M was dialed. I mean, he was scooting. Class of the field. Okay. Ended up winning it by 3/10. Justin McCready was right there with him. I mean, 3/10 it's a couple car length or two. But before that caution came out, there wasn't anybody in that field of cars that had anything from Mike Medell. He was, as they say, hauling the mail. You dig? You picking up what I'm throwing down, boys?
He had it hooked up.
He did. As Sam would say, up on the bars, right rear in the cush. But he wasn't using that cushion. There wasn't one, I'll tell you that. Nope. Let's move into the modifieds.
On the chip on the bars.
Modifieds.
Into the cush.
Night 1. 21 modifieds on night number 1.
I heard there was a lot.
There was a lot, and let me tell you, the racing, if you don't believe when I say it was absolutely phenomenal, go on Moxie Meat Promotions. Look at the last video Sam posted out of the view of Sam Potter's cockpit and out of the back of that car. Watch what's going on around him. That was, man, there's some movement. Cars are slicing and dicing, bumping and grinding. They're doing it.
There was stuff I didn't see, like literally while I was watching it live there in person.
Well, there's so much going on. Yeah. You've really got to watch that video because there's cars all over the place. Sam, probably your best piece of work yet.
There was a lot of spots that I literally, because I've been playing around with the slow-mo action lately, there was a lot of spots that I thought I could put slow-mo in there, but I'm still kind of learning the ins and outs of it. And I was like watching the video today while I was posting it up, and I'm like, oh, I could have slow-moed that. Oh, I should have slow-moed that. So it's coming along. We're getting it.
So here was the finishing order. 20 cars started the main night number 1. Toby Ferrando was in the back of the pack. Dustin Kading, the 7, was 19th. Dustin Kading, I said, was 19th. This is the team that I understand they've stumbled across something on the setup this week that, they've been struggling.
They're very fast.
But that's what I'm going to say. This is what when I say they've been struggling, they've been struggling to put a whole race together. That car's fast. There's no doubt. We've seen him win a heat race. We've seen him mix it up for the top spot nearly every week in the top 4 or 5.
They've been putting a few wrecks have taken him out as well.
Well, and that's the thing. He's had that's part of what I was going to say. He has had a lot of bad luck this year. Brand new car, up front, mixing it up. Something happens to prevent the whole deal. I mean, he's just had a ton of bad luck. You hate to see that for any racer. I mean, it's bad. It's especially it's got to be frustrating for him, a former champion.
Right.
We know how, the guy can wheel a race car, no doubt about it. That's, again, a new team struggling to find the setup on this car. Now, we've learned something that they've learned, and I think from here on out, probably going to see a different ball game out of that 7 team. Right, Sam?
Oh, it's going to be a different car. I almost guarantee it.
You have to, given what they've found. And that's a part about getting a new race car. Something you haven't worked on, something you haven't dealt with yet, that things are different from chassis to chassis. Okay, you think you got it right, you go out, the car's fast, and when you can't get enough time in the car to really feel what it's doing, how are you supposed to learn?
Especially with Dustin, who's really pretty good with car setup.
No doubt about it. No doubt about that. He knows how. The dude's a former champion for a reason. He understands the race cars, and he knows how to drive them. There's no doubt. I think from here on out, given what we've learned, what they found, it's gonna be a different ball game for the 7. I'm expecting something different from that team anyway. 18th, Craig Castle, a former state champion, 18th out of 20. He just did not look good at all. He was 6 laps down.
I don't think he looked comfortable in the car either.
Something was off there in that 25 car. I don't know what it was. It just didn't seem like it had a lot of forward bite. It wasn't good through the center of the turns. It's not typical. We've seen that car fast. We've seen it very fast. Kyle Fisher in the 95. Here's a guy that was really good in the heats, but couldn't put it together, and he was the last car in the lead lap. Micah Berkeley in that beautiful number 30B, a guy that kind of struggled all weekend. Restarts killed him. The car just wasn't there on restarts. Lauren Cruzy was 15th. Don Schott in the 11S. Don Schott actually led a lot of that race in the early stages. And then it just kind of went downhill quick as he got into traffic, a little bit of bump and grind, and kind of got freight trained. And that 11S car is fast. I'm telling you that right now. That is a fast race car. Bad luck. Mike Swear, here's a guy that's putting it together. Getting better and better. That's a good race car. It seemed like the car was a little tight on the front end on the entry to middle. The car just kind of looked a little tight. He kind of struggled with it with a push. But we've seen him, 2 weeks ago, the car was really good.
Yeah.
So I expect to see more of that from the 63.
Keep digging.
Derek Young finished 12th. This is a top 5 car. Overall, this is a top 5 car, but that tells you when you're finishing 12th with a top 5 car, you cannot miss it a little bit in this division because you miss it a lot. Derek Young, he's proven he's a good driver. He's proven he's got good equipment. Finished 12th, just behind the 48 of Aaron Elvis. Nick Bissett, a guy that ran up front in this one. Good quality race car, good driver, just couldn't put it all on the ground. The car seemed a little loose. Jeremy Ritchie in the 15J, I think overall was, and I don't mean this in a bad way, was one of the most inconsistent cars over the course of the weekend, from night 1 to night 2. Fast in the heat, bad in the main, junk in the heat. Just kind of he had a really weird weekend watching that 15J car.
It was like hit or miss.
It really was, and there's a lot of potential, and we know that car is fast. Brian Thompson in the 113, second run in the car, finished 8th. Still learning the car.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can say about that. That's a whole different deal than what he was in before. The car destroyed it at Yakima.
How many different chassis has he ran?
He's ran a few over the last 4 or 5 years. Yeah. Kevin Williamson, now in the W7. Kevin, this last weekend, you come to associate the last name Williamson with victory. Kevin was fast. He looked good all weekend. Just when you look at the names ahead of him, he really put together one. Weinberger.
Those are 3 names we're used to hearing.
Absolutely. Gray Ferrando, you're used to talking about up there, too. He's in 6th. Yeah. But let's talk about, I want to talk about this. That's heck of a run. You look at the names ahead of him. 3rd place was Bryson James. 2nd place, John Campos. And your winner.
Being there.
Right. Okay. talk about this because this car, this driver, this team, you want to talk about somebody who's got it figured out? There isn't anybody in any division in the Western United States right now that has anything figured out like these guys have this new car figured. This is a new car.
New car.
This is
3 races.
I think it was race number 3.
Yeah, race number 3 on it.
When you come from the back row against a field of cars like this and you win by 3.197 seconds, you've got it figured. And this is the scary part. Talking with not just Colin, I want to 3 guys that will contend with the Superman car. He's that far out. You're going to see Campos. We expect that from Campos. We know how good that 36 car is. Maybe Western region to 7 or 8 nights. Then we're going to see where that car is.
But we watched that car run at Bakersfield. Wonderful. I mean,
that was a different together. And you put him to, multiple tracks on what's watching, right?
Yeah.
Why are we cutting in and out? That's weird. Okay, so our eyes are always open in the area. We're watching every car, watching, we try to see. We're always looking for something to talk about. And I think this is a major part of that team's success. Team communicate is that's where we're cutting in and out, where I apologize, guys. Our signal here shows full, but it keeps saying reconnecting. Just deal with it. I apologize. If you miss anything, come back and listen after the show. Here's something on the Swears Trucking chat line. Most